A while ago, I felt obligated to expand my 3DS collection because I only had Pokemon Ultra Sun and Mario Kart 7. A pretty lackluster lineup at the time, if you can even call it a lineup. The first game I ended up getting was Animal Crossing New Leaf, and to me, I found it to be just okay. My first Animal Crossing game was New Horizons, so it made New Leaf not fit into the standards of New Horizons. The next 3DS game I got was Super Mario 3D Land. I had played Super Mario 3D World and I was starting to feel nostalgic, so I decided to funnel that past nostalgia into this game, and I'd like to say, it was a lot of fun. It wasn't quite better than Mario 3D World because of the fact that the levels weren't quite as long and it didn't have a 3D world map, but other than that, it was basically the same game, just on different platforms. When the 3DS first released, it was performing under Nintendo's usual standards for a handheld. Some people believed this was because of the lack of games on the system. People also believed that Mario Kart 7 and Super Mario 3D Land attributed to the system selling more than it was on track to sell beforehand. This game is so much different compared to other 3D Mario games. If you were to compare it to the Mario games that came before it, it would be similar to both 3D and 2D Mario games. It's a 3D environment but structured like a new Super Mario Bros. Game. The level design is much more linear than other traditional 3D Mario games. If you were to compare it to games like Odyssey, Sunshine, and Super Mario 64, it has more levels, but then again the levels are much smaller overall and less exploration to be had. Speaking of Super Mario 64, while researching this game, I discovered that Mario 64 was originally intended to be structured like Mario 3D Land, as in more levels that were shorter, but because of the storage limitations on N64 cartridges, the levels had to be bigger but with more to do. The 3D visuals are actually really good, and they help your jumps to be more precise, and many people argue that it's a crucial feature. A quick backstory. I used to only have a 2DS XL, but the card reader broke, so I had to get a new system, which was a new 3DS XL. So that means when I got the game, I had to play with the 3D off, as it wasn't an option to turn it on. This made the platforming much more difficult than it would have been on a 3DS system. There are also these rooms that are supposed to demonstrate the 3D effect, but without 3D, they are a pain. There are also these cloud stages which are practically impossible without 3D. Nevertheless, I managed to get to World 8 without any 3D visuals, but once I got my 3DS, it was a breeze beating the rest of the game. It's a pretty short game, even for Mario standards. Well, my satisfaction rating of this game is... I'm just kidding, that wasn't the full video. After you beat the game, 8 more special worlds appear and you're able to play as Luigi, which was an unnecessary but nice bonus of the game. These worlds are redone versions of the first 8 worlds, except this time these worlds are harder, and there is something very special about Special World 8. The music on this level is a remix of the Mario Drawing song, which has been playing throughout this entire video. For the Flipnote Studio community, this was a really nice callback. Just in case you guys watching don't know what this song is, I'll play it for you right now.
Take a page and a pen, draw a big mushroom, add an egg, then 2 more. Draw a cloud under here, now we'll add some coins. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Draw a hill at the back with the rising sun, and a little bird and there. It's me, Mario.
I could tell you enjoyed that just as much as I did because I saw you get up and start dancing to that. Don't lie, I saw you. This was honestly the most fun Easter egg in this whole game. There is one final level in this game which is supposed to be the hardest level, and it does earn that title. But just because it was the hardest level in the game doesn't mean it is not still easy. I ended up beating it on my 2nd try. It is still fun to have some sort of challenging level in this game though. Recently, I watched one of Arlo's videos where he talked about 4 3DS games that deserve sequels. Obviously, Mario 3D Land was on the list, and this is what Arlo said.
They could have even made the sequel a little more difficult, knowing that the people returning for more would probably be Mario's core fans versus the little tykes who got the first game with their 3DSs for Christmas and appreciate the low difficulty.
Exactly, Arlo. I full-heartedly agree with this. While editing, I realized I didn't talk about any of the new power-ups in this game, so I'm gonna mention those real quick. The main power-up at play here is the Tanuki suit. It was a callback to the Super Tail in Mario 3. It can't fly like in Mario 3 though. Instead, it can only hover. There is an iteration of the suit which allows you to turn into a statue when you ground pound, and apparently this is a nod to Kasit Gar Baha, who is the protector of travelers and the guardians of souls. I know I botched that name. Please don't ridicule me in the comments. Please, I beg you. The next new power-up is the Boomerang, which is admittedly really bad. It's just a worse fire flower because you only have one ammo instead of multiple. It also takes forever for your boomerang to come back, which makes it power up kinda useless. So instead of using the boomerang, I would rather just use the fire flower. And why would I use the fire flower when I can just use the Tanuki leaf? There is another power up called the propeller box, but it's just a reskin of the propeller suit from New Super Mario Bros. Wii. Same name pretty much and same ability. Most people say that Super Mario 3D World replaced this game and was a much better version to play. I don't fully agree with that statement though. There is more replay value with 3D Land with it being on a handheld system. I know recently 3D World was ported to Switch, but I wrote the script before it came out and uploaded after it came out. The worlds in Super Mario 3D World are smaller and more bite-sized. The level design is actually quite similar to Galaxy New, quite a large chunk of the game. I mean, that does make sense because it was the next Mario game to come after Galaxy 2. Mario 3D Land is quite a lot of fun, even for someone who played 3D World first. My satisfaction rating of this game is very satisfied. Before I end the video, I just want to say, if you're looking for a fun time waster and only have $20 plus enough text to cover a $20 game and possibly more than $20 depending if you're getting it physically or digitally, and if you have a Nintendo 3DS, then this is the game for you.